thing is a beast. Cuts through that cinder block like it was styrofoam, man. Well worth the $200. Hey gang, welcome back to our shop build. In today's video, we're venting. And don't worry, I'm not gonna complain to you about the prices of gas and the economy. What we're venting today is this bathroom. And we have two things we need to vent. Number one, we gotta vent this bathroom fan out the side of the building right here to get rid of all the humidity from our epic shower we're gonna build. The second thing we gotta vent all our plumbing fixtures, right? We got a toilet, a urinal, 2 sinks in here, a sink in the kitchen, and this awesome shower. All these pipes are gonna go up above our ceiling and out the building right here, just above where the old vent was. And while we're out there, we're gonna patch that hole because a lot of you have been asking us about that hole. But this building's gonna present us some challenges. Usually on a house, we just have some drywall, maybe some cheap siding on the outside to go through, and pretty easy. Right here, we got 8-inch block. Now what I would typically do, I'd get my Bosch Bulldog, my rotary hammer, put a 1/4-inch bit, 3/8-inch bit, drill a series of holes in the shape of a circle, knock it out with a hammer, go around to the other side, do the same thing, and I hope they line up. Or I grab my little grinder with a diamond blade, make an octagon, knock it out, and we're done. But we have a lot of holes to cut in this building, and I don't have time for all that. We have a house to build in Texas. So we bought a $200 4-inch core bit. Check out that bad boy. Now we're gonna use 4-inch duct for our fan, and this is a 4-inch bit. It looks like it's gonna fit, but it's gonna be pretty close. So we're gonna drill a test hole first. If this guy can cut through concrete block, it should have no problem with this plywood. Let's check it out. Piece of cake, that'll fit just fine. But we got a little problem. Let's fix that first. Well, check out that drill bit. It's just a taper fit. There's no set screw or anything. So that'll fit just fine. We're gonna put it back in there, use this, tap it in, and like I said, it'll be fine. If it comes out, we can just put it back. Now before we can drill a hole in the building, we have to put the boot on the fan so we can pull a measurement to get our hole just right over there. But check this out. This will only fit on that fan in one direction. When it's in this direction, and I'm gonna blow on it, the fan's gonna open that damper. But I have seen sometimes where these are put in upside down, and look what happens. The damper is always open, and now critters are coming right in your bathroom. I don't think this is meant to go right here, Dad. That was weird. I don't think this is meant to go on the outside like this.
You gotta put it on from the inside.
Oh.
Didn't you read the instructions before you put that thing in there?
I just read them just like 1 second ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How were you able to slide that out so easily?
I read the instructions. All right, now I want to measure to the center of this, and I'm calling that 7 1/4 from this guy and 4 1/8 from the deck. So let's transfer that over here, and instead of going 4 1/8, I'm going to go like 4 5/8, so I have a 1/2-inch drop in our vent for drainage if I need it. What were my numbers? That's enough. All right, I drilled a little pilot hole. Didn't go all the way through because I don't want to ruin my nice sharp twist drill. But I did that because when I have this up here, I won't be able to see when X marks the spot with this pilot bit on the hole saw because this is going to obscure my vision. But I can put that up there and I can feel when it's in that hole. All right, gang, we got a $200 core bit in our $700 Bosch rotary hammer against a $5 block. Who's going to win? I think I'm in. I'm scared. Oh, nice. There's no holes in here to get that plug out, so I'm just going to drive a screw in there, see if I can pull it out. It's not too tight. It wants to come out, but need a little help. Ouch, ouch. It's hot. Oh yeah, there we go. That's all I needed was a little handle. Nice, let's chuck this back in the drill and see how it eats up that cinder block. Drop that. And I bottomed out.
Hey.
Oh, there goes the drill bit. Oh, look. Nice. Cool. Check that out. That was cool. It went through the cinder block faster than it went through the wood, and that's understandable. But what I'm seeing is it made a nice, clean exit cut on the other side of this side of the block. So I think if we just keep going, we can drill all the way through the side of the building from here instead of going around so we don't get any blowout.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey bud, how was that?
Awesome.
That was sweet. Any blowout?
A little bit.
Yeah, but the flange will cover it, right?
That's right.
All right, let's see if that pipe will fit through there. But you know what we want to do first? Maybe we should drill some more holes in this building. Well, I missed. Let's see if we can fix that real quick. Did we make it? Oh, beautiful. I'm home. Look at that. The technical term for what I just did is wallow it out. All right, this was just our test piece. We have longer pieces that we're gonna use with no joints, so that's perfect. So I'm gonna pull this out of here. We're gonna get a measurement for our final piece. We'll put the wall cap on it, tape it, and Jordan's gonna shove it in from the outside, and I'll make it up right here. And of course, we're gonna put sealant on the outside. All right, there we go, 56 3/4. Come on, one more. One more. That started out good. Come on. Whew. Hop up there and shove it through, bud.
Oh yeah.
We got our piece of plywood on the wire crate here.
Whoa, that's a tight fit.
It is. This is some door and window sealant.
Dang, this stuff is thick.
Yep.
It's hard to squeeze.
Yep. Just do the sides and the top. We don't need the bottom. Yeah, we'll just let it squeeze out, and then we'll see how it looks.
Is this the top?
No, that's the bottom. I can smell it too. That stuff's strong.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that is one well-installed, high-functioning, music-playing fart fan. All right, gang, y'all remember this sink? It used to be outside by the bathroom where we're working, but it belongs in the kitchen, right? This is the former paint booth. Now it's the kitchen. So all we're gonna do, we're gonna tie it into our drain line on the other side that's picking up the bathroom vanity. So we simply made up the P-trap that came with the sink, and where the wall tube is right here, we're gonna drill through the wall right there. I got a 12-inch bit in my drill. I keep it in my toolbox just for this occasion, and let's see how many studs we can hit. Remember, we got metal studs in this wall and wood studs behind it. All right, let's go around, see where that drill bit is in relationship to our studs. See if stud pack can get off the floor. All right, that's perfect. Now we're so close to this floor, remember, because we're stepping up. It's 13 inches above the slab on the other side. All right, did a beautiful job, and our days of prying these cores out of a hole saw are over. Now, I don't need the latest and greatest iPhone, but when it comes to mandrels, I want the highest tech mandrel I can find. Check this out. Put the drill in reverse. I'm gonna hold this knurled knob right here, and it's gonna eject that plug. Made by our friends in Canada. I will be sure to put a link to that in the description below. And when you're using a hole saw, make sure you use a sharp bit like that, and be careful. All right, this side is all done, but it's not my best work, but there's a good reason for that. Let me explain. At the beginning of the project, these pony walls, which we still haven't put down for a very good reason, they were gonna go right here at the edge of our recess for our shower. And this pipe was gonna be in the plumbing wall. The drain for the sink was gonna come through here and pick up the sink. But then, once we had it all framed, we realized this shower is pretty big and we really need a little bit more space over here where the vanities are and the toilet and everything else. So we decided to bump the pony walls back about 4 inches to here. And in a bathroom like this, 4 inches makes a huge difference. But then what happened, my pipe is right here now outside of the pony wall. So let me come around here. That pipe right there should have been in the wall, but knowing that it was gonna be in the pony wall, I didn't worry about it. Now I gotta worry about it. So to get it in the wall, we got a couple of 1/16 bends, 22.5 degrees each. They're street L's. It makes a nice gentle S turn. And now we're inside the wall. We can cover this with the drywall and the tile. No problem, we'll just scoop out the back a little bit. We'll be good to go. Now because of that, we had to notch our stud to get this pipe in. Don't worry about it, we're gonna get a shoe. It's a metal piece that's made specifically for that. It's gonna strengthen the stud and protect the pipe. We'll be sure to pick up a couple of those Everything's closed today, and we're gonna show you those in the next video. Now we got this side already done the same way, and now it's time to come over here and plumb up the urinal drain. I've never done one before, let's get started. Here's the cut sheet for the urinal, and right here it says 17 inches max to the rim height according to the barrier-free specs, ADA. We're going this number right here, 24 inches to the rim, but we have to back out the distance between the top of the rim and the center of the drain, which is 3 1/4. 24 minus 3 1/4, 20 3/4, right?
That's right.
So 20 3/4 is the number to the center of the drain, and just looking at this, I think we're pretty close. This piece of 3-inch here was just a drop we had left over from the underfloor plumbing, and we used it as a stub up. Let's pull my tape and check it out. Dang, look at that guy. We're right on the number.
Wow.
You know what? Maybe I was born to install urinals. All right, here we go. You know that aftermarket H pipe you have on your car, Jordan?
That's right.
I've got an aftermarket Dauber. The original broke off the cap and is in the can.
Look at you.
Yep. These are nice. They don't flex like those other ones. All right. Urinal drain is all roughed in. Now it's critical that the face of this 90 in our application is flush with the face of our tile. So we mocked it up, and check it out. So I'm going to use the square to help me hook the tape, and if we have 1/2 inch of backer board, drywall, whatever we're going to put behind the tile, plus our tile, we're going to be right at 7/8, 15/16, and we are right there. So we're perfect on this fitting. And then right here you can see we added a 3x2 bushing and a T facing this way, and that's going to be our clean out. So if the toilet line ever blocks up, it's easy for the plumber, set up his snake right here and go right there. And for our other 3 drains, we're going to put the clean outs up top because we don't want to have to put another hole in our beautiful tile. Now it seems like we just made a little bit of progress in a large amount of time, but we're about to switch gears and make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. All our drains are done. All that's left is to run the vents up and connect them. So we're going to go to each of our 4 vent locations, just like this one, and run a 9 8-foot piece of pipe straight up through our top plate and our plywood, get all 4 of those done, connect them, and run them out the building. But to make our life a little easier, I've got my 1/4 inch bit chucked up in my Milwaukee cordless, and we're going to drill from the bottom through the top plate and through the plywood. And that pilot hole is going to allow us to drill from the top and the bottom with our Milwaukee Big Hawg so it lines up perfectly. Then always remember to retract the pins. We forgot that once. Lesson learned. All right, gang, we drilled as much as we could from the bottom. Let's head up top, finish them off. All right, our first hole is over here. Now we offset the vent because we didn't want it coming up right here in case they're storing stuff up here and the pipe is right in the way. So I got a hole right there. Let's drill it. This one's going to be easy. Just 3/4 inch plywood. Too far. I know I can do this. Nope. There we go. Yeah. 2 out of 2. Yep. Nope. Short. 25%. We're doing some fine woodworking today, boy. Why was the shower so hard?
Because it was so long.
Oh, that's right.
It's 10 feet long.
We're at the floor. We don't have those other fittings.
Right. All right, spin me. Who's the band that sings Spin Me Right Round? You spin me.
Yeah.
Who is that?
First guess is modern English.
You don't know? Wasn't that song on every day when you were growing up?
I just started spinning. Johnny go.
No, I didn't. That's good intuition right there. Yeah, we're good. That's funny. All right, coming down. Perfect. Awesome.
Hey, I need a couple of 90s.
Coming up.
Nice. Oh. 5 1/4 off the wall. Minus 5 1/4 plus 1 1/2. 74 3/4. Minus 5 1/4. All right, 74 3/4. Hey Jordan,
Yep.
can you get me like a block of wood 9 inches long just to act as a kickstand for this?
Coming up.
All right, gang, everything is vented to this cross fitting. Now all we have to do is get it out the building. We're going to use our 4-inch core bit, line it up right here at this mortar joint and drill through. 2-inch pipe, 4-inch bit. Well, it's 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. We'll figure it out.
No way.
We tripped something. Cuts like styrofoam. That's how fast it cuts. All right, there's that beautiful Baton Rouge scenery. All right, we're all plumbed up, almost done, and as you can see, we took a piece of that 4-inch galvanized duct we used for the exhaust fan, and we made a thimble for it. So when we fill this, whatever we use, I'll probably spray it with some foam and then pack some mortar around both sides. But now all that won't fall into the block. And you'll also notice we got a sanitary tee right here. I was short 190. I got this one for the outside to go up, so we'll just put a sanitary tee there and I'll plug it. In hindsight, this could have been the clean out and I could have omitted that one, but again, 5 o'clock on a Sunday, you use what you got without going to the store. I think the rest of this job is outside, bud. Let's head out there, grab the ladders. This is the old 3-inch ABS vent, kind of tipped over. Let's see if we can pull it out. Oh yeah, that'll come out. Woo! 12 3/8. Just one more piece of pipe after this, bud. One more. Come on, get in there. Got a sharp edge on that metal. I want to cut my hand again. That's a great feeling.
Let's go.
That's all done. Now, of course, we are going to go back. I got 2-inch pipe straps. We'll strap that pipe to the roof, to the walls inside, put all my clean outs on, but I'm going to check that one off as complete. We're ready for water lines. Man, I'm so glad that's all done. Now, Jordan, we could say that's a good way to end the week because it is Sunday evening, or we could say it's a good way to start the week. Let's go with that one. Now, we do have a few more things to do. We're going to put our shoes here, put nail plates wherever we need them so we don't run a drywall screw or a cabinet screw through our brand new pipes. We're going to put our clean outs on, but I'm going to check that one off. I can do all that off camera. So get your core drill through that block for us, hit that like button that's on the other side, ask us a question, drop us one of your awesome comments, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the very next Stud Pack video.